So I'm here with Sorelle Fraser, who won a Postcode lottery. She is from England, and her story is very interesting for this testimonial. Sorelle, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm really good. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you so much for taking the time. So what did you win, and how did this happen?
So I won £30,000 and I entered something and it's called the Postcode lottery that we have in the UK. It's £10 a month, and basically if your postcode gets picked out, you share a prize with all of your neighbours who have also been part of that draw. You can win anything from £10 to £1,000 on a weekday, and if you picked out on a weekend, you win £30,000. Um, and then they have a draw once a month where it's a few £1,000,000. So you can win anything from like up to a couple of £100,000. So I was one of the lucky winners who got picked on a weekend and won £30,000.
Wow. So you won £30,000 because of your zip code. I was
Yeah, and that's basically it. It's so easy. You just write your address down, and the draw goes off if your postcode gets picked. So with our postcode, when it got picked, I think there was another 11 neighbours who do the postcode lottery. So the prize fund that we shared was £390,000. If you do like more than one draw, it like doubles your money or trebles your money. But I just done one draw, so I came away with £30,000.
Well, how did that feel to win?
It was fantastic only because I believe in like the power of manifestation, and I have been daydreaming all the time about winning. Um, I do believe that I will win the lottery in the future, but what is really easy about something like the postcode lottery when you're trying to do visualization and manifestation is you've got no control over it. So every time I was washing the dishes or was at a traffic light or anything like that, I would just visualize and daydream that I was having a phone call and that they would phone me up and say, hi, Sorelle, we're the postcode lottery and we just want to let you know that you've won. And so it would just be a couple of seconds. Whenever I got the chance, I would do it multiple times a day. And then that's exactly what happened. I was going grocery shopping, the phone rang, I pulled into the space, and when I took that call, it was the postcode lottery people to tell me that I had won. And would I be interested in doing like a live media reveal of to find out how much that I had won? So when it happened, it was more like deja vu, but it was just so exciting. And especially because you didn't find out until a week later how much you won. It could have been anything from £10 to a couple of £100,000. So the anticipation of waiting all week for that live call. And then what they do is they get a golden envelope and they pull it open and it reveals how much you've won. And they do a celebrity as well. So they have celebrity ambassadors. So mine was Daniel Johnson from the X Factor. So he was the person who revealed that I had won £30,000. So it was just absolutely amazing.
Wow, and he did that. Now this was in the height of COVID, so he did that virtually. Is that correct?
He did. So the postcode lottery, what they usually do is they come and knock on your door and let you know that you've won, and they do the live coverage at your front door. But because it was lockdown, they had to do it virtually. So we had to do like a live video call to find out how much I had won.
And what did that feel like when you found out how much you did win?
It was like time just stood still. I could see the figure, and obviously it's the most money I've ever had in my life. Um, and it was just a million things was going through my mind of, what I'd be able to do with that money. I've got like a 10-year-old daughter and we just moved house. Um, so we had a garden for the first time, and one of the things that I wanted to buy, and again with visualization and manifestation, I'd look outside and I'd imagine my daughter on a swing set. Um, and so that was one of the things that I bought with the winnings, this beautiful big wooden swing set. So I felt like it was a manifestation that helped other manifestations come true.
Because you had visualized it, and then it came to be.
Yeah. So every time I'd be washing the dishes, I'd be looking out that empty garden and I would just visualize it on the swing set that I wanted to buy. And like I said, within 8 months, I had won this massive amount of money and was able to go and get that swing set for her.
And did you think that was going to come through from this lottery?
No, no, I just believe that if you like daydream and stuff like that, because it's happened all my life. If like I daydream about something and I just keep like thinking about it, it usually happens. And I'm not too stuck on how it happens. It can happen in a completely random and roundabout way, but those things generally do happen. So I knew if I just kept going on the computer, looking at the swing set, imagining all the details, imagining the colour, and then like every time I looked outside the garden, believing that the swing set was there, that she was on it, and visualising her on it, that it would come about. I would find the money or the means to do it. And like I said, the postcode lottery was the means in which it eventually came about.
When
The
you envision something and then it comes to be, especially with a sudden lottery win. I mean, what was that like?
It did feel surreal, but it also felt like finally, as if like I said, like a deja vu, as if I had already experienced it because I had imagined it for so long over and over again. It just felt, I wouldn't say normal, but I don't know. I don't know how you can describe it. That it does feel surreal, but it's also like, oh, finally, it's happened. I think it's a bit like waiting for like a job interview or something. You know that's going to happen, and then when it does happen, it feels like you already knew that that was going to take place and how it was going to go because you've already rehearsed in your head sort of like what you would wear to the job interview, what you would say, what kind of questions. So it was very much like that. When I found out I won, it was very much like I knew I was going to win. I just didn't know when and how much.
You mentioned that you want to become, or that you are visualizing another lottery win. Can you talk about what do you
Yeah.
mean?
So I played the Euro Millions and I also played the UK Set for Life, which is the main prize on that is 10,000 a month every month for 30 years. And I also played the UK Lotto, which doesn't go past 12 million in the UK. If it's not won, it gets like rolled down. So I put at least one line on for each of those draws. As soon as I get my ticket, I play it for the full month. I already signed my ticket as if I've already won. And I do have like manifestation altar. So it's got like different crystals and candles and good luck charms, horseshoes and stuff like that. And I'll put my lottery tickets on there. So charge them with like extra potency, manifestation, energy, that kind of thing. So very much like the postcode lottery, I do believe that I will win big. It's a question of when, not if, for me.
And what do you tell someone that doesn't necessarily believe in this stuff? That they're like, oh, that's not possible. That's coincidence. What do you tell someone like that?
I think it's really hard when, because I'm a glass half full person all the time. And I think that's saying like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. So I think if people have got that view that if they don't believe that you're not really going to change their mind, you can have so many wonderful interviews like the ones that you've done, and people say, I knew I was going to win. I believe in manifestation, and I think for people who don't really believe that they're always going to find fault with those stories and think it's not going to happen. But for me, everything is energy. Money is energy, you are energy, I am energy, everything is. So it's just about attracting that energy. I think if people don't believe, you can do little experiments like it's called the butterfly effect. So if you put it out there and say, you want to see butterflies, you will see them all day, every day. It might be on a greeting card, it might be a real one. You might, see images on drawn in chalk or something. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a butterfly, it can be a ladybird, a sequence of numbers. So I think if you put that out to the universe and say, if there's anything in this, show me a sign of a ladybird. And I think if you open yourself up, the universe will show you a ladybird all day, every day in different ways. And I think for non-believers, when you start like doing something like that and you see those signs, I think it opens up the door to think, do you know what? There is something about this. And I think it just snowballs. I think if you're into these kind of things, like once you start pulling at that thread, you sort of can't close that box. It's just so fascinating, all the stories, all the subject matters about energy, about colour, vibration, frequency. So I think if you don't believe, do a little experiment like that, and I think it'll open you up to different avenues of where it can go.
Do you have any other stories that really stick out to you that you've experienced with that type of thing?
There is like things that happen all the time, but especially through dreams, and keeping a dream journal did help. The amount of, again, synchronicities that I would have conversations with people in dreams, and I'd wake up and it'd be so vivid. And then later that same day, I'd have that conversation. It'd be a complete deja vu because I had already had that very same conversation with the same person. We were wearing the same things, when it happened in this like 3D reality. It's really crazy.
Did you dream about the lottery at all before it happened? The postcode?
Not postcode lottery, but I have had many dreams of dreaming about winning the lottery. So I've dreamed of certain numbers and I've been playing those numbers a while. And I also dreamed of in the UK when you buy a Euro Millions ticket, you get like a millionaire's code at the bottom. And I had a dream that I had checked the millionaire's code and that I had won £1 million. And it was one of those ones where you wake up and you totally distorted. When you first wake up for those few seconds, I was just absolutely elated, beaming, I couldn't believe it. And then it was like all came crashing down. I was like, oh no, it was a dream. But it just spurs me on to know that. And I think that's why I've got that innate knowing that it's a question of when, not if I'll win the lottery, because I do believe like that dream will manifest. And I do believe we have control over our energy. So I think where your attention goes, your energy flows. So I do saturate myself in, winners' stories and that kind of thing. So I do believe you can help reprogram your subconscious and it will manifest in the 3D reality. So that is what will happen with me.
Well, I hope that you will come onto this podcast and return and tell us all about it when it happens.
Certainly will. You'll be one of the first to find out.
Oh, thank you. I cannot wait. So we are running kind of short on time, but is there anything else that you wanted to say today about your experience or that you just wanted to say?
Just that everyone who's trying to win the lottery, just keep believing that you can do it, and you will do it. And I do believe what is meant for you won't pass you by. So just have confidence in your own abilities to manifest. And just, thank you to you and your channel because it is an inspiration to me and so many of your listeners. I mean, you know that from the wonderful comments that you get and the lives that you do. And I just can't wait to continue to watch what you do on your channel for the lottery and all of the other interesting subject matters. It's just amazing. So thank you for having me.
Well, Sorelle Fraser, thank you so much for sharing your story of winning this postcode lottery and your experiences with manifestation and all of this. It's very interesting, and I'm so excited that I get to hear this today, and cannot wait for you to return.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Really appreciate your time.